Hello and welcome everyone. We are going to interact with another star of TeejLab, Robbin Gandhi. Hello, Robin. How are you doing?
Hey, thank you, Gaurav, for this such a lovely introduction. I'm doing good. I hope you are also doing good.
Yeah, enjoying the sunny day.
Yeah.
Finally, started to see some
Oh,
sun in BC. It has been like pretty
good.
cold last couple of days. Like, how's weather in India?
So it's very hot here. Currently, it's around 37 degrees here. So, it's very, very hot. I
So there
hope
was
you
like,
don't get 35 degrees there. I hope 25 degrees, 20 degrees max. The
yeah,
temperature goes there in Canada.
yeah. Right now in the morning, I went for a run. I tried to go like for a run. It was like 5 degrees. And
Oh
you
my
know,
God.
funny thing is, a lot of my friends are saying, "Yeah, this is spring. This is our summer." I'm like, I think I'm in the wrong place. Yeah. So let's just
Yeah.
get into this interview because I think a lot of people wanted to know about you. So let's start with the fact, like, let's start with from the start, right? Like how you started the journey with what was your initial interaction with TeachLab?
It was the time back in COVID-19, which is the year 2019 end in December. So I was about to finish all my stuff, degree and all. So I was looking for a good opportunity uh, for an internship, you can call it. But the thing was, I was not that ready. So I was looking for some free opportunities, paid opportunities, so that I can learn. I was not looking for a FT job at that time. So luckily I got interacted with Dr. Baljit sir on LinkedIn. So he looked my resume and all, and he offered me to get into a call for a couple of minutes so that we can talk on the on my projects and my career goals and all. So this how I went uh, for the interaction. So we started a journey. He liked my profile, and he said that we can offer you TeachLab can offer me some projects which they are rolling in. So I joined TeejLab as a software engineer intern in maybe March or April. I'm not remembering the correct month, but it was 2020 then. And the my role was very simple. Uh, I, I started, exploring public APIs, different types of based on different authentications and all public APIs. I started exploring and I started getting into deep knowledge of APIs, that how API works, how to think in the API zone. So I started integrating those public APIs onto the platform, on the API discovery platform. And then, I asked them to offer me a project, which was my college project, major project. So it was quite tough to convince them for a project, because it's a research driven company, and we cannot just go and do any project which they don't give any value to it. So
Mm-hmm.
the idea was that I should pick that project which TeachLab can add value to my project. So after lots of discussions with Ankur sir, who was my, you can say, a guide or a team leader for boosting my and helping my project. So we had a lot of discussion related to the project, that what project I can do. So as as TeachLab is the API management system, so I thought of picking some API related project. So at the end, I choose to build a mental health assessment chatbot, which was about assessing the mental health of a user by collecting the text. So
Hmm.
it was not fully developed by scratch, but the
Yeah.
idea was to use multiple APIs and understanding the request and response, using it into an application.
Yeah.
So this is the whole uh,
Journey, right?
stuff
That's interesting.
I did with TeejLab. And later on, after my project, I was also got into a Android project.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
but that was not for a long time. But
Hmm.
yeah, the crazy part is the team is so versatile
Hmm.
that if you want to learn, the TeejLab is for you,
Yeah,
because they don't restrict you.
that's awesome.
They'll give, yeah, they'll give you a good path. Go on. We'll there to help you. So
That's
that
so
was a
awesome.
good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, because like even like with the APIs regarding mental health, understanding and getting all the points by just interacting with the person, getting their mental health, and especially in India, because like um there are like a lot of documentaries coming, whether on like different OTT channels, right, about IITs and all these. But like, and they do mention about this. Like a lot of people are just saying it's numbers. The only thing we see is numbers. Even like this movie Three Idiots mentioned about so much about mental health, and so it's interesting. Like TeejLab is able to help you uh, bring this research and these projects, which are not like bringing value to both the parties, but also to Indian society in general, which is like just giving back. It's awesome to hear that. And with the thing you said, right? You mentioned about the engagement, the various projects you did. What was like your the favorite project you did at TeachLab during your internship? The most fun one.
The favorite, I cannot, say a single thing because it was all
Mm-hmm.
fun, because it was all learning to me, and on the API sector, it was, I was new to it and I was learning a lot from TeachLab. Yeah, the fun fact I can say is that the team, there is 24 into 7, they'll support you. So I used to ask very stupid questions, but the team, the leader, they took take it very normally and they helped me regarding the whole my internship tenure.
Yeah, I think
So
I was
I
also. Yeah.
yeah, okay. I integrated lots of APIs, which was
Mm-hmm.
very amazing, interesting. So yeah, I can say there was an API I'm remembering which used to cut the background from your picture. So that was very crazy for me. That, oh wow, we don't need a particular software or just a
Mm-hmm.
Photoshop stuff to remove the background. Just you put an image, you send a get a post request, and you'll get a response with the remove background. So that was, at that time, that was very,
Mm-hmm.
crazy for me. Okay, so that I have integrated and lots of learning. There was daily catch-up meetings to discuss about
Mm-hmm.
your progress and all, any struggles. So yeah, uh, I can say all my internship tenure was fun.
That's
So
awesome. That's
yeah,
interesting. Yeah, right. Like it's interesting how much like APIs can do, and a lot of people just don't realize how important it is. It's like the
true.
80, 83, 84% of the internet people just don't know, and like they're becoming so powerful with like Chat GPT and all these things, right?
Correct, correct.
It's
Yeah.
interesting. That's awesome to hear. And you also mentioned about the Android project. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so the Android project was a clone project from the web interface of TeejLab. So usually the project was about to fetching all the requests and get requests. not the very major thing about post and authentication
Hmm.
APIs, just simple not normal APIs without authentication. We are trying to fetch the APIs and the information on the Android platform. It was just a clone of web platform. So I got engaged with the Android project for it was not for a longer time because later on I got some additional responsibilities and then I moved on.
Hmm.
So it was around 2 3 months.
Interesting.
And the crazy part was that I wanted to learn Android, and I simply asked sir that, sir, is that possible? Is that any uh, is that you can provide any guide to me so that he can help me to learn the. So he said, yeah, okay, but you have to, make your hands dirty. No one
Hmm.
is there to look for you. You have to make your hands dirty, ask your questions, and just do it, do hands on. So it was, I started my industry from TeejLab only. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I learned a lot, to be very
Yes.
honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think yeah, not just you. I think like basically I was having an interaction with Baljeet when I went for like a company meetup last year, and he asked a very he made this observation instantly, and he was like, "Huh, that's interesting." And I was like, "What the observation you made?"
Yeah.
And he did mention like, do you know one common part about every single employee at TeejLab? It was their first job. It is TeejLab. Even like for me, it was my first job, and like I started also like during my last year, actually my last semester of university because of COVID, could not get like any job or any internship at the right time, and so much things were going on. But TeejLab just out of the blue came and like gave me that confidence. It was my internship, then I got a job here. It's TeejLab is like a beautiful place, and the best part it is. I think our company is like a give back type of company, which we are like more giving back to society and like helping even when we
Yeah.
don't have
Yeah.
much, right? And it
Yeah.
sets up that standard, high level standards when other companies are working for money. We are working for the society, betterment of society. So I agree so much with you on the thoughts. Like it's just amazing to be part of this the whole team, the whole culture we have at, and we treat each other as family. We are available 24/7. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. We share the same values, every one of us. Talk about values. So, like, you know, you mentioned like you have been talking to Baljeet sir during like your whole time as an intern and stuff. What were the values you gained in terms when we talk about like training, the mentorship skills, and like employment skills, and even like any economical or financial skills and learning you had? What were those learnings like? How was it?
Yeah. So, am I audible?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, the values which these labs gives in terms of to my project, you're asking, right?
Like in terms of like you worked with the team, right? And especially
Yeah.
under
Yeah.
Baljeet sir, you worked under Baljeet sir, and you like what were the mentorship? And he was like mentoring because like even for me, he was like mentoring me a lot, right? So what were like some leadership skills you
Yeah.
gained and some employment skills you gained from during your engagement?
Yeah. To be very honest, I learned how to speak. One-to-one interaction with Baljeet sir, helped me a lot because it was a daily interaction with him, and due to the time zone difference, but still he used to, give us time. Not only me, my all the team folks who were working uh, as a team for an internship project. So he took in charge of a team meeting with Ankur sir, and they used to solve our doubts and all. So it was always one to one with him, and he never get frustrated with my stupid questions. So I would like to him
Same,
uh,
same.
for that. And and the leadership quality which I can say is that public speaking, of course. I can I learned from him, yeah, that how to present, how to speak about your stuff, how to
Hmm.
explain about your stuff to the person in front of you. So yeah, these are the core things. And yeah, I would also like to add honesty, which I would like to add in a core value, because I learned a lot of honesty from TeejLab, especially Baljeet sir and other team members.
Hmm.
It's very good to be honest, if you're working as a professional. So
Yep. That's awesome. That's great to hear. Like, I think even for me, like, I was able to improve, like, how I interacted with other people and, like, able to communicate better. And another great thing, I think, like, I was told this thing, but I think I started implementing that after Baljeet sir, like, talked to me was saying no, which has had such a big impact in my last couple of years. Like, after started saying no, getting that, like, and started like taking care of myself by saying no
mm,
to other people when things I don't want to do, has helped me like so much in terms of career, in terms of mental health. So that's amazing to hear that it has like not provided us just with employment opportunities, but like how to become a better human, like progress through life and
yeah.
quality wise too, right? So with like Baljeet or like how was the interaction with like the staff overall? How was your experience with the whole TeejLab staff, or and also like any memorable moments? You know, like we talk when we see all these images of everyone like at the staff. What was your memorable image you can remember, which you were like, "This is my family."
Um, Yeah, there are lots of memory, but I would like to take a first question, that how was the staff
Mm-hmm.
for TeejLab? Yeah, I've not interacted with a lot of people here working, but a few people were from management. I don't remember the name. She was working in 2020 only. There was a project which TeejLab was, conducting over the colleges. They were, organizing a hackathon, API hackathon. So the idea behind the project was to, build an application using a third-party API. So I took a charge for my college that I'll,
Nice.
uh, advertise this in my college and bring some student engagement. So, in this scenario, I had a chance to interact with the management people here working in TeachLab. So they were also very supporting. They were, quickly they were responding with the poster and all, and the stuff, different stuff. So uh, these were the interactions with the management, rather than I interacted with the team, Ankur sir, Baljeet sir. Uh, I think I have not interacted with you at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the rest of my folks, which were also doing internship in the Teach Lab. Yeah, so these were the things which, the
Mm-hmm.
all over the staff and the team is, you cannot doubt the team. So
Right.
yeah, yeah.
And I think you mentioned about the whole taking charge of your college when it comes to the internship and like the hackathon. That's probably one of your memorable moments, right?
Yeah, it can be. And the funniest thing is that I don't know, it only happens in India, or it also happens in Canada. I advertise it, and the people also, there was a Google Sheet form which you need to, give some additional information. Are you interested in post? Do you know this, that? So around 120, 130 engagements were there. but the catch was only 10 to 15 people attended the meeting, the first
Yeah,
meeting about the hackathon. So that was very demotivating for me, that uh,
yeah,
it doesn't work. Then Baljit sir was there, that he said that it's very normal.
yeah.
Uh, so we are building a community, API community. So uh, if it doesn't matter, it comes to 100 or 500. If someone is adding value to the community, it means a lot. So
It's awesome.
the thing started from there. That, yeah,
That's
because TeejLab is, it's not just a company, it's a, community builder. They are doing for good for people, so they are teaching
nice.
people. So that was the part. Yeah, you can call it memorable, correct? Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great to hear. That's a really touchy story because I have done like to build this API community. I have during my school time. I even did some IEEE and TeachLab API days type stuff, like talking about API digital economy. I had
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
thing, like even biggest people, biggest names, right? IEEE, TeejLab, like, and a lot of like API days. Like I was trying to do those stuff and trying to build those things, but happens and it just takes time. I think with every community, right? Even with Google or Microsoft, everything, everybody was at one point like where we are right now. So I can 100% understand, and it's such a memorable moment, right? Like true leadership
Correct.
can be
Yeah,
seen in this. Um,
yeah.
Interesting in this like APIs and all. TeachLab have so many, right, like suites, so many softwares. Just like Microsoft, Google, and all these company, Amazon have. What is your favorite one? And like any, eureka moment type thing, you're like, wow, this software I connect to this. This is my heart right there.
Uh, yeah, when I was working, the TeejLab rolled new feature, which was the scanner, user interface scanner, which is Java based feature, I guess. Uh, it was mind blowing feature, and it is mind blowing feature, because it helps user to interact with multiple APIs into yeah. So API discovery scanner, which is a user interface. I think that's a
Mhm.
very awesome feature. When I was working with TeachLab, it rolled out then. It's a Java based, and it helps to extract the code from your GitHub repository, or any GitHub repository available on GitHub, and it will let you know about the API integration, what and how other developer has integrated the API there, and how it's working. So that is very amazing feature. And the next feature I can say is, recently I got engaged with that feature during that Amity University workshop,
Yeah,
where the TeejLab has populated their endpoints with the endpoint ID, which you can
yeah,
call it in your application, and user can use multiple APIs at the same time in their application. So it makes very easy, rather than people or user is using or testing the APIs on the platform. So that's a good idea to now building an application based on that APIs, which are integrated on the platform. So
yeah,
this is also a very, very good feature.
yeah.
So
The proxy one is also
and there
something.
are more features which I'm not, which are, yeah, which I'm not aware, because it's a lot of time I've not interacted with the platform.
Yeah,
Maybe you can tell me about the new features
yeah.
which got rolled in. Yeah.
So yeah, like for me, I can like there are proxy is really another great one for me because like proxy I think is a very very important thing in cybersecurity. And with like TeachLab,
Okay.
it can like create that filter so that nobody else is like if they even if another company has a vulnerable API, TeachLab's API is secure and it won't get
Mhm.
passed. So it's like that guardian. It's that
Yeah.
guardian or shield protecting other APIs, and it's like thousands of APIs out there. So that's awesome. And even like for me, like Project Scanner is another great one. But and my favorite, like with the same interface, is the Network Scanner as well, because both are like combined.
Yeah.
So you can like not only see what code is there, like APIs, but also those APIs being used, what when are they being used, what are the uh like the response and like everything. And it's interesting cybersecurity story in which one company had Facebook APIs going in and out, and they were like, "Oh, it's Facebook," so their firewall let it go in and out of their networks. But it came out that somebody was using Facebook Messenger as a command and control server for like months into hack their system.
Oh,
So I was like, they had no these and even like there's no proper like Facebook is such a great name, and their API is like very well known. So nobody like thought, oh, it's a red flag. But once they start digging deep, it became like, and they like it wasn't noticed even in the first place. With the network scanner, you can just notice like this, right? And you know
yeah.
exactly what's going on in like 5 seconds. You will have everything. It's interesting. Like that's my like those two are my wow and like favorite features out there.
Yeah.
So maybe I can like ask this question, and this is like a very important even for me, right? And a lot of people are waiting for this question. Is for the future prospects who are like just like you were as a student at one point and became a intern then employee, so any words of wisdom or anything you would like to say to the future students or interns or the employees who want to be part of this TeejLab family?
Yeah. I would like to say to every student or working professional, guys, APIs are everywhere. So either you are in a college, or you are working somewhere in a company, you need to know if you're working in a network sector, backend sector, even front end sector. So APIs are everywhere. So you if and the TeejLab is the company who is telling you how to manage the APIs at enterprise level. So it's good for enterprises and for the working professional. So and yeah, there are lots of opportunities here in TeejLab, to be very honest, because they are doing very interesting projects every day. They have tons of problems. You need to go to these labs and start picking a problem and work on it, because there are lots of mentorship, so you don't need to worry about it. So there are a lot. I personally know there are tons of problem which Teej Lab is working. So uh,
Yeah,
it's yeah. So of course they are helping the community, the professionals, the researchers. So yeah,
that's big. Yeah, that's big. Whoever is listening, I think that they should really pay attention to what Robin said, because like there is so many problems with the API community. Not in community in the sense like API and its awareness, I would say, because not many universities or colleges in the whole world are teaching about APIs religiously when they should. They are talking about web pages, but I think like APIs in next 5 years. A lot of people say next 10 years, but I think like in next just 5 years, APIs will be what web pages are, right? Like if somebody says, "Hey, I don't know what a website is," that's really really weird to hear. But APIs will be like at that level in just 5-10 years, right? In this decade itself, and there are still like a lot of problems in the API, like the whole awareness, like not being aware enough, not being understanding enough, like not understanding how it's widely used. So it's really important, and TeejLab like is always
yeah.
solving problems. So yeah, just like to all the future folks, just find a problem or ask for a problem, and here we go, start working on the solution. That's the way.
Yeah, yeah. Usually in colleges, students they don't have any idea on APIs, and when they get hired in a company or for a project, the project is on APIs only, the building API, designing APIs.
Yeah.
So the student gets so stuck there that what's happening here. So I believe it's not a company, it's a community builder, and they are giving sorry, they not TeejLab is giving